All right, so it's late as fuck, but and I was gonna go to bed and pick up on this tomorrow. But I opened up my computer and I started reading this shit again, and I'm like, bruh, like every time I read over it, I see even more shit. Shit that when I first read it, I felt it, but when I read it again, like I actually see it. Like this right here. Yet their aggression is more often concealed than open. They saying that the tactics that they use on us is a lot of times concealed. It's not just, and it's quiet, it's not aggressive. It's not like really in your face. It's low key because it's manipulation. It was something else I seen, but I don't think I could find it. Hold on. Oh, this one right here. That is our conviction for ourselves. That is our only commitment to others. No friend, no neutral, and no adversary should think otherwise. We are not against any man or any nation or any system, except as it is hostile to freedom. Nor am I here to present a new military doctrine. You see, okay, he specifically used this word doctrine. Now this is the beginning. So I didn't know like what he was going to really get into, but he basically presenting this program, right? But it's not like a real it's kind of like deprogramming. Basically, he wanted people to know the truth and be able to make their own decisions. So when he say military doctrine, he said, I'm not going to present a new military doctrine. They're talking about doctrines as in religion, which they had weaponized to have more control over us. And he said, bearing any one name or aim at any one area. And I feel like that's him saying, like, he's talking about all of them. I am here to promote the freedom doctrine. I mean, it's so in your face. The freedom doctrine. He making it clear that this is very much so about freedom. Like, this ain't about money, or this not about any other shit that, they do in order to manipulate us. He basically said, I want to get rid of that shit. And, they wanted to go, like he wanted to go in a position of peace. Because I also looked up this word I seen. I think it was here you go. You remember when I first started reading and I was looking up, not looking up, but I mentioned the period. This imagery is so interesting to me because under it is fear. Bruh, I'm telling you, this is what the fuck they talking about. I ain't just making this shit up. Okay? They use fear to dominate you, and they keep you in that vibration to dominate you. And reading this speech, like he knew specific words and the mannerism that he had placed them. Like what you reading on the surface is like even if you read it on the surface, right? And on the surface, it's just about politics, you know, it's not about any of a spiritual thing or anything to you. It could be just about politics, right? You will still see the corruption. You get what I'm saying? Like, even if you on the surface with what he wrote, you know, on the surface, it's just like themes that playing out what's going on a deeper level. And he was very specific with the words that he used. Look at these imagery when it comes to these words. When have you heard this word before? Because this is my first time even seeing this motherfucking word. What is man talking about? Ooh, fail only for want of a capable spot. You remember when I was reading it and I took off the ism off of it? What chances has democracy, which requires a whole population of capable voters? Wow, bitch. This motherfucker, who are you, dude? Bruh, what the fuck? What the fuck? Who that? Down there. Okay, let's focus on him. He basically saying that your vote don't fucking count. He basically saying that, you know, these people in rulership and everything like that, like all they need is so-called voters in order to approve of the shit that they do to us, the decisions that they make for us. All they need is so-called voters to make you feel like you're a part of it in some type of way. But in reality, you only get in play, and it always turn out like that. Because even though you are a voter and shit like that, you still oppress, no matter how you vote. Because, and they want you to believe that you actually have a choice, even though they created all these systems that we don't even trust. Why is it, motherfucker, why is people coming to me telling me to vote? But when you really talk to them, they know that their vote don't count. Like when somebody win that they didn't want to win, they quick to say that it was rigged. So you know that there is a great possibility that they rig votes. Matter of fact, people felt like they seen it several times, but yet you still believe in that motherfucking system. Oh, child, bruh, it's crazy as fuck. What is this shit right here? Now, for some reason, when I move this little screen, it don't record that. So y'all might not be able to see this. Look at this. Well, I could barely fucking see the words. Can I zoom it in? Come on now. All right. Disunity, deception, civil war, treason, ordinance, SC ordinance, and nullification. Is that what that say? Oh my goodness. For him to use this word and it got all this imagery attached to it is like insane to me. And it's right in your motherfucking face. They telling you how they do it. And at the bottom, nullification. And I keep talking about this pyramid. See, this is them at the top. This is them, supposedly, right? And then as you go down, but at the bottom, where people who's not up into these levels like deception. Okay, no, level one right here, right? They know that they whole philosophy up here is based on creating division. They very aware of this, and they also aware of everything down here, but this is what they aware of. It's different from what's going on up here, but this is like the next level. And then when you go down here, like they not aware so much of the, you know, creating separation. Like just like we could sit here and talk about it and see it, but they don't know like the deeper reason why they do it. So these people here under here, you know, politicians or shit probably shit, politicians might be just down here. These people right here, the deception, they the ones who know about the crisis actors and shit like that, methods that they do to help deceive you. These people right here, the Civil War, they know how powerful war is as a tactic to control people. Like they know the whole psychology behind the war. I mean, even it goes down to spirituality regardless, because this is spiritual warfare. People call it what they want, but so I just want to skip down here to the bottom down here, nullification. Everything that's on top of this is weight to all the way down here. And this is like just everyday people. And the reason why they call it nullification is because we are desensitized. We are null. Like, look at the people down here at the bottom. What that shit say? Constitution? Ain't this the shit that's on the money? See? And these the people going up. Because most people are asleep down here. They keep you asleep. They keep you asleep. But this is how they do it. This is how they build it on. This is their system here to make sure your ass stay asleep, bitch. Oof, got my neck hurting. Shit is crazy. Who the fuck are you, dude? I might have to read this later. Let's go on back. Let's go on back. All right, so let's pick up where I left off. Oh shit, I forgot where I left off. Damn. I think this is it. Oh, child. Child. Okay, let me also explain what I'm upset about. I'm upset that they had the opportunity to make things better for us. And because of selfishness and greed of power, they didn't. And this whole time, like people are being manipulated, abused by the system, oppressed, gaslighted. Um, we having people killed. They doing all this. They creating all this suffering for us just so they could live without any suffering. Well, they suffer anyways. I guess it's more so of they it's just that greed. That's probably why they stuck here anyways. They probably supposed to be growing and evolving their damn selves, but they ain't. Everybody want to be on top. All right, I stress the strength of our economy because it is essential to the strength of our nation. And what is true in our case is true in the case of other countries. Their strength in the struggle for freedom depends on the strength of their economic and their social progress. Mm. We would be badly mistaken to consider their problems in military terms alone. For no amount of arms and armies can help stabilize those governments which are unable or unwilling to achieve social and economic reform and development. Okay, so like, okay, what I'm getting from here, I feel like he's telling them like what he knows. Okay. Like it's like he telling them like I know that these people are suffering because of the things that you do to them and the shit that they put you through. So you coming to me and you telling me to create these motherfucking programs and stuff like this. You telling me to have a better military. You telling me to do this and do that. But in reality, none of that shit will work. The only thing that work is the truth being out. And like he didn't want to play their games with them because it been a lot of presidents, and I feel like a lot of them um just submitted to the will of this. But he was put in that position for a reason and he was killed for that reason. But see, times are changing and like from a higher because I feel like when he was writing this, a part of it was like channeling. I mean, they already fucking know though. They already know like what is like the future and what was coming. they was doubtful that they was gonna win this transition, but they was still trying to do it. It might have been because they made the decision too late. So it's like they were stuck with these standards. All right, let's finish. I'm just gonna finish this section and then I'm gonna do a next section tomorrow. Ciao. Military pacts cannot help nations whose social injustice and economic chaos invite insurgency and penetration and subversion. The most skillful counter-guerrilla efforts cannot succeed where the local population is too caught up in its own misery to be concerned about the advance of, oh my God, communism. Communism. I mean, I got mad respect for Kennedy on some real shit. Because this is him rebelling. And I felt like he knew like this will cost his life. I felt like he knew that. And I feel like, see, but for those who share this view, we stand ready now. He talking to people that could really see what he is talking about. As we have in the past to provide, he is talking about people that's incarnating at this time. You know, because he keep talking about the past. Let me show you how many times. I mean, this is a speech to Congress, but it's so strategic. Okay, let's go. He keep talking about the past and the future. He always say this. As we have in the past, he always say this. Look, as we have always stood from our earliest beginning, you know, the way that he talk is almost like, you know, it's just two sets of people. People on the light side and people on the dark side. Like this is a war between like two spiritual groups or something like that. Because they always dealt with each other since the earliest of times. And I feel like he know he talking about ancient times. I'm talking about like the beginning of whatever earth, whatever this existence is created for. But he always say this. It's such a weird thing to say when it's just talking about politics. Like, will people agree? Just the way that he talk. All right, well, I'm at. Because it's like he's saying, like, look, we've been here before. We've been here before. Listen, to provide generously of our skills and our capital and our food to assist the peoples of less developed nations to reach their goals and freedom, to help them before they are engulfed in crisis. I really is feeling like there's souls that come here and they keep getting like trapped here. Like they are not able to break out of the cycle. But there's like a evolution in consciousness or something. So I mean, it's all for a reason and purpose. But that's why Earth is such a difficult place to incarnate because the manipulation that they do here, man, is like it will really have your ass trapped here. I feel like souls come here and they think that they strong enough for it and then get stuck here for so long. And I also feel like the way that he talking a few times in here, what I noticed is almost like, um, look, we going to another place and we need certain type of souls. So we really want to start like training them here so they could come there and put those skills to use because we trying to like elevate or some shit. This is also our great opportunity in 1961. If we grasp it, then subversion to prevent its success is exposed as an unjustifiable attempt to keep these nations from either being free or motherfucking equal. But if we do not pursue it, and if they do not pursue it, he talking about people in this time. The bankruptcy of unstable governments, one by one, and of unfilled hopes would surely lead to a series of totalitarian receivership. So it's like, look, if these people wake up and find out that you unjustifiably kept them oppressed and in misery, then we won't be able to help you at that point. And shit gonna get real. That's what this shit is saying. Cause he's saying like, if we do not pursue it, and if they do not pursue it, them, the bankruptcy of unstable governments, one by one, and of unfulfilled hopes, he keep talking about this, will surely lead to a series of, what do this shit means? What do this means? So basically, they're gonna take control. He's saying that these people that's coming here, they is gonna take control. and there will be no mercy because this shit is unjustifiable. Mm, 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 mm. Earlier in the year, I outlined to Congress a new program for aiding emerging nations. See, he want people to come together. And this nation is just another meaning for each one of us. And he wanted to help people to merge together and create unity. And it is my intention to transmit shortly draft legislations to implement this program, to establish a new act for international development, and to add to the figures previously requested in view of the swift pace of critical events, an additional $250 million, seven, for a presidential contingency fund to be used only upon the presidential determination in each case. With regular and complete reports to the Congress in each case. When there is a sudden and extraordinary drain upon our regular funds, which we cannot foresee, as illustrated by recent events in Southeast Asia, and it makes necessary the use of this emergency reserve. My bad, y'all, I'm getting tired. The total amount requested, now raised to $2.65 billion, is both minimal and crucial. I do not see how anyone who is concerned, as we are, about the growing threats to freedom around the globe, and who is asking what more we can do as a people, can weaken or oppose the single most important program available for building the frontiers of freedom. See, right here, it feels like he's saying, and who is asking what more we can do as a people? Like you asking more from us, but you the one who need to change. All right, I gotta read this to myself for a minute. I kind of want to know what was going on in Southeast Southeast Asia in 1961. Conflict and confrontation in Southeast Asia, 1961, 65. Mm-hmm. Kennedy died in 64. Britain, the United States, Indonesia, and the creation of Malaysia. This meticulous, fascinating study resurrects a major Southeast Asia crisis that was eventually obscured by the Vietnam War. When Indonesia decided in 1961 to use force to block independent, mm, Malaysia's inclusion of the British Empire territories of such and such on the island of Barney, I don't know. The United Kingdom and the United States were faced with a challenge that was heading toward military confrontation. Washington was caught up in several dilemmas. It wanted to help the United Kingdom, but not offend. Nah, I don't got time for this shit. I know what they talking about, but okay. All right. All that I have said makes it clear that we are engaged in a worldwide struggle in which we bear a heavy burden to preserve and promote the ideals that we share with all mankind, or have alien ideals forced upon them. All that I have said makes it clear that we are engaged in a worldwide struggle in which we bear. See, it's like he talking to aliens. Now, look, I don't know what they is. I don't really like that factor because it could be when I think of alien, I just think of something that's unknown to us. But I don't instantly want to believe in the imagery that they put out. You get what I'm saying? Because they are building our minds around the whole concept of aliens. Just don't get too distracted. Don't do that. Because when they start putting spaceships in the sky and shit like that, and when they start having creature like looking humanoids on the news talking about they aliens and stuff, that could just be another tactic. Okay. But there is people in position of power way at the top of the pyramid that they control shit. Now I don't give a fuck what they is, you know, but they some bitch ass motherfuckers, like for how they do us. That struggle has highlighted the role of our information agency. It is essential that the funds previously requested for this effort be not only approved in full, but increased by $2,004,000 to a total of $121 million. Like when they're giving these numbers, like I don't even think they talking about money. So, yeah. This new request is for additional radio and television to Latin America and Southeast Asia. Those tools are particularly effective. Mm, mm. See, these are forms of programming, and he's saying that they are very effective. Don't make me not trust you, Kennedy. Don't make me question you now. Like, what is your attentions? You know, additional. These tools are particularly effective and essential in the cities and villages of those great continents as a means of reaching millions of uncertain peoples to tell them of our interest in their fight for freedom. Okay, I understand. He's saying that right now, the people that he talking to, this is what they use as a method to control people. But he want to put new programming out that help people to unite. So he want to get this technology to them. And I guess that he wanted to start like a new programming, but it's supposed to be for the betterment of humanity that leads to freedom. In Latin America, we are proposing to increase our Spanish and Portuguese broadcast to a total of 154 hours a week compared to 42 hours today, none of which is in Portuguese, the language of the language of about 1/3 of the peoples of South America. The Soviets, Red Chinese, and satellites already broadcasting in our own hemisphere than we do. Did I skip something? Oh, communist China alone does more public information broadcasting in our own hemisphere than we do. Moreover, powerful propaganda broadcasts from Havana now are heard through Latin America, encouraging new revolutions in several countries. Okay, so see this part right here? Our interest is in the truth. So he wanted to start this new wave of programming all throughout the world. And he also letting them know that he know how powerful, and these are tools that they use to program people in the wrong way, because they will push out powerful propaganda. And then what that would generate into? Encouraging new revolutions. But this is not necessarily a good thing. It's just that because they are pushing out powerful propaganda, which is, let me show you what propaganda means. Information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view. That's what that is. And then what it turns into, encouraging new revolutions in several countries. He wanted to get the truth out. Matter of fact, a lot of this he is talking to people that are, waking up, that could really see this for what it is. I don't feel like he had much hope and these people working with him to get this out. I feel like he used this wording to let you know what they are doing. How they are using this technology. Oh boy. All right, y'all.